Come right on in and get comfortable. We're going to sew what? We're going to sew a headpiece, a scrub cap. Let's go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Intrigued Arts. And this is Tracy. I'm going to attempt to make it's titled here a chemo cap, but this is a scrub cap. Um, I have to make one out of this material here, and I'm trying to find a pattern that is similar to what the young lady wants. So I'm going to try this one out, and it is a pattern uh, that I got off of Facebook, Nice Roy 101. And so I cut, it had how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So this is the cap pattern. This is part 1, which were 2 pieces that I put together here and then laminated them. This is part 2, which is also 2 pieces that I taped together and then laminated, and then 3 and 4. So I am to cut this on the fold, 1 piece, the second part on the fold as well, and I'm just assuming 1 piece, and then this one here also goes on the fold, but I'll need to cut 2 pieces. This is the strap. That part I know. So I've done so. These are the straps. This here that was cut on the fold. So I've cut those out and I've pinned them together, and then I kind of curved the one end. This is part 1 that was cut on this fold. So it's a long piece. And this is part 2 that was cut on the fold. And so it's a long piece. So where I will start is by sewing these straps together. So I'm just going to sew along here all the way down, 1/4 of an inch, and then turn these inside out, or right side in, or however you say that. Now I'm going to go around and trim these down, the extra material, and turn them inside out and iron them. And I shall return. Just trimming it kind of close to the stitching. I'll do this one, and then I'll come back after I've finished turning them the right way and ironing them flat. Another thing with this pattern, she used a stretch material, and this is a cotton, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but we will see. And if it doesn't work out to my liking, then I will find a different pattern for this young lady for the type of headgear that she wants. She actually saw, I don't know if you remember, if you can go back and watch the earrings that I made with this material, the peacock dangle circle earrings. And the statue that I had them on, the black lady that I had the earrings dangling on, I had wrapped her head with a piece of scrap material of this peacock material, and the young lady thought it came as a set, and so she wanted me to create a head wrap for her. Okay, let me, I'm babbling. Let me do this one, turn them inside out and iron them, and I shall return. So I've got the straps turned right side out and ironed. And what I'm going to do, just to reinforce, I'm going to stitch real close to this end all the way down on both of these. And then another thing I want to tell you about Nice Roy 101. So I said you could get these patterns free from Facebook, Nice Roy 101, but she does her tutorials on YouTube. So you watch the tutorial on YouTube, and what you like, you go over to Facebook and you can get the patterns free in her files. I don't think she shows how to sew things on Facebook. I just wanted to give you that information. So I'm just going to, like I said, come real close to this edge to reinforce this a little better and sew along all the way down and around. So you always remember when you start sewing that you back stitch to lock that stitch in. I'm just going real close to the edge. I'll do the other one off camera. So I've done that, and you can see it's trimmed all the way around. That was just an extra step. I thought it looked better this way. And as I go along, I take notes on these patterns, which I probably should have done before I laminated. I should have put the notes on here so I can remember next time. And the laminating idea, I got this from Unbiased. She laminated. We were trying to figure out how to, you know, keep them preserved and keep the patterns from tearing up. And lamination works very good. So I got that idea from Unbiased. But you're going to need a 1/4 inch width of elastic at 17 inches long, because we'll be making this in the back adjustable. And then also with that elastic, you'll need a toggle. And if you don't have toggles, I imagine we can do this some other kind of way. I don't know if these toggles are going to fit. We shall see. It says in the description when I purchased them from Amazon. I'll have to get them open later. But this is what they're looking like. These are small toggles, and we'll see if the elastic fits in these in here. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to come up with something else. So now I believe we work on this part, which is, and I labeled it, this is the brim, okay? And the brim is this part here. So this is the next part that we'll be working on. Let me move all this stuff out of my way because we have to make some markings on here for the straps and for the straps and for the elastic. So this is the brim part, the smaller of the two pieces, and it measures 6 inches here. So what you're going to do is you'll open that up and you want to measure up 1 inch. And so I'm just going to mark this 1 inch, and you'll take your straps and you'll put the ends together like this with the stitch side facing forward. So you'll place it on that mark, that 1 inch mark, and these stitch lines are going this way towards the bigger part of the brim. And then you'll just kind of move these out of the way, tuck them in a little bit, and bring your other piece over, and you'll want to pin all of this together just to hold them in place, like so. Place another pin up here to hold the material together. And what you're going to do, because we're going to need to, so the straps will be on the outside. They're inside now, but they're going to be on the outside of the brim. And then the elastic is going to be on the inside. So we have to leave a space for the elastic. And so you'll find the middle. This is 6 inches. You'll find the middle of this material and mark it, which is at 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. Right there. And then you'll go up 1 inch from that and mark that. So this is going to be the area where we will be putting the elastic. And now I'm going to sew this, and I'll sew from the top down to this first mark. I'll leave this open and then from this mid mark down, I'll sew this. So coming from the top, I'm going to go down to that first mark, and I'm sewing a 1/4 of an inch seam. Back stitch and come down to that marking, and then back stitch. Okay. Then you'll come to the next marking, which is the midway marking, the one that you made 3 inches up. And just continue down to the end of the material at a 1/4 of an inch seam. So let me back stitch. All the way down to the end and back stitch. So let me just show you like that. So I came down to here, left that little 1 inch opening, and then sewed all the way down to the end. All right, so now that we've sewn that, we'll fold this in half. This is my first time, y'all, so I'm learning as I go. Maybe I got to do it this way. I don't know, y'all. And so the hole is here for the elastic. Okay. What you'll do is fold this brim in half so that you get the midway mark, which is going to be right here. And you'll take your elastic, you'll open this up, come on the inside, and place that right there and pin it down. Okay, then you'll take your elastic around to the other side. Let's see. Placing it on the inside. And you'll put this at the mid mark on this side. Yep, right there. And then you'll pin this side of the elastic down. Like that. You'll take your elastic and bring it through that hole. This end of the elastic. Bring it through this opening that we left. Through here. Like that. Get it all lined up again. And now what I'll do is make sure that this elastic is all the way up here to the top, and I'll sew about a 1/2 inch all the way around to hold that elastic in. I'm sorry, what you'll do is stitch your elastic down first. So you'll fill where you have your elastic up here and put a couple stitches in to hold it on each side. Now let me go to the other side and do the same thing. Go to this side, stitch that elastic down. Then you'll make sure that your elastic is up against the edge of the brim, and you'll sew around to the other side. So you want to use about a 1/2 inch. Make sure that you don't sew onto the elastic, and this will hold the elastic in place. Back stitch, and just keep filling to make sure that that elastic is up against this edge here. And making sure not to sew on your straps. And this is the end of the elastic, so I'll back stitch. There we go. So this is what we're looking like so far. This is the brim. The elastic is on the inside, and it can be pulled tight. Because I use cotton material instead of stretch, this brim is small. So this is my first time doing this, so this is my sample. I would not sell this to my customer. I like to try it out first and make sure I get it right. But what I can do on the next one to compensate, because this is the material she wants. It's cotton. It's not stretch. So what I will do when I make the next one, the one for her, are these two pieces here. You can extend the material an inch or two longer. Then that will compensate for the width of the headband. So I would make this, instead of, how many inches is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would make this about 12 inches. About 12 inches. And then I would do the same thing for the brim. So this is the body of it, and this is the brim. So I would extend the material a couple inches to compensate for the size of this. And then my toggles are too small. I ordered the wrong size. So what you can do if you don't have toggles, you can cut this in half, tie it at each end, and just when you put it on, just tie it instead of using the toggle, so that the toggle tightens it around the back of your head. Now what we'll do is take the body piece, and we will sew all the way down on this edge. So you see it opens up like here. This was the fold. This was the fold in, and you will stitch a 1/4 inch down this side. Then you'll take this material, you'll fold it in half. And you'll mark the middle right here, or you can put a notch. You can cut a notch, or you can mark it. So I'll just cut a little notch right here. And then you'll mark this side as well, so this end here. So I'll just cut a little notch right here. Like I said, you can cut a notch or you can mark it. Then what you'll do, I iron down the seam to make it easier, and you'll take this and match it up right here to these notches. Then you'll fold that over and pin it. And you'll do the same thing on this side. Where you've made this notch, you'll bring it in, line it up in the center, fold it over and pin right there. And this is going to be the top of the cap. So what you'll do now is sew across here. I'm going to trim this corner, and then just trim a little of this end off. Okay, here is the tricky part now. This is going to be on the inside. The straps are going to be on the outside, but you turn it opposite. Pull your straps down. So you have the elastic on the outside now because we got to line this up. So you take the cap part and you get the seam and you match it up with this seam. Stick it on the inside. Match it up. And then you're going to pin this all the way around. Just line it up and keep pinning all the way around. I'll do that all the way around and I'll come back. Now I'll do a 1/4 inch and sew the brim to the cap. Come all the way back around. I'm at the other side and then I'll back stitch. And I'll probably trim this down some, but there we have it. And you can bring this around, tie it in a bow, tie it on the side, style it however you like. So this is a sample. This is my first go round. I'm going to try it again and make this pattern bigger. I don't have stretch material with this peacock feathers. I wish I did. So I'm going to try and improvise and make this larger on my next go round. So here's what the final product is looking like. It's really cute, but it's just too tiny. Back to the drawing board. And there's the matching earrings. Let's see if I can turn this around to the back. I tied a little bow from the straps. You can tie them in the back or wherever you want to tie them. Here she is, sitting pretty and looking good. The other side. Y'all stay tuned, please. Come back, you hear? There's more to come. I'm going to try it again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. It's all trial and error. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.